fate burns wild in me. Fate burns wild in me. Burns wild in me. Smoke and shadow dances one, under moon or under sun. Chains will break, the past will fall. From the ashes I will call. Hear the crackle, feel the spark, burning heart in the deepest dark. Raise your hands, ignite the sky. We live, we burn, we never die. I am fire, I am storm, a raging heart forever warm. Let the world be turned to gold. In the heat my story's told. I am fire, I am free. The flame of fate burns wild in me. Fate burns wild in me. Let it rise from the ground to the endless skies. Let it rise. We are the light that never dies. I am fire, I am storm, a raging heart forever warm. Let the world be turned to gold. In the heat my story's told. I am fire, I am free. The flame of fate burns wild in me.
I saw the fire consume the land. I felt the ashes in my hand. The ones I loved were torn away. Their voices haunt me night and day. I took an oath I can't let go. It burns inside, is all I know. Through blood and stone, my path is clear. Their end will come, the time is near. The streets were filled with smoke and cries. The stars looked down with hollow eyes. No prayer was heard, no mercy stayed the night. Remember what they mean. I swore on ash, I swore on bone to break their crowns, to shake their throne. No God above could turn my hand. My oath was carved into the land. I took an oath I can't let go. It burns inside, it's all I know. Through blood and stone, my path is clear. Their end will come, the time is near. I walk through ruins, golden wire, with only anger as my guide. Each broken name became my flame. Each shadow whispered who's to blame. I saw their towers touch the sky. I heard their laughter passing by. But fear grew sharp within their walls. Their kingdom shook as darkness closed. I took an oath I can't let go. It burns inside, it's all I know. Through blood and stone, my path is clear. Their end will come, the time is I saw their halls of stolen gold. Their crowns were bright, their hearts were cold. I raised my hand, I struck them down, and fire swallowed throne and crown. Now ruins lie where powers for the earth is stained with ash and blood.
Oh, we're back for week 2, Andy.
We made it. We managed it.
We've
We're
managed
still
it.
alive.
And we haven't been banned. We haven't been banned.
No.
No, I've just
There's still
realised.
time.
I just realised that I never unmuted the call, so I don't know where you were hearing me from. But we're good.
I don't know.
We're good.
I can hear you, so it doesn't really matter.
No, we're good.
Can
How are
anyone
you?
else hear us, though?
Yeah, let's do a mic check. Can we get 10-4? Whilst waiting for mic checks, how was your week? You been busy?
It's been heavy. I have slept hardly anything, and I have not worked anywhere near as much as I'd like to.
Nice.
But I am now sat here talking to you with a beer, so there's no chance of me working.
I drink so I don't have to work. Right, I remember.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Nice. Nice. Good evening, Ozzy. How are we? So Ozzy says, good evening. I'll be lurking, but have a great show. So lurking is a gamer slash streamer word that's used a lot. That's just for skulking in the background.
Yeah.
So he will be skulking in the background. We've
But
I've had a busy week as well. It hasn't stopped. We had a teacher training day on Monday. So the kid was at home all day Monday.
that screws up every plan going.
It does. Tuesday he was at school. Tuesday night he fell off his bike on the way home from school, so he was in A&E on Wednesday morning.
Right.
And then because he had PE on Thursday, he had Thursday at home as well. So and then I had a governor's meeting in that as well. So between that work, the animals, it's just been one of them weeks. So I'm definitely glad it's Friday. Definitely glad it's
No, I can understand that. Sorry, I am currently trying to connect Nicola to my AirPods, and it doesn't seem to be working.
No, we don't want feedback.
Can you hear it?
We do not want feedback.
Can you hear? You can hear me speaking, yes.
So I've got Angela in the chat as well. Good evening, Angela. Hope you're well. Hope you're well indeed. It's we've got a show lined up today, haven't we? For
Yeah, we have actually.
the
I
keeper.
don't know how we managed it.
Politely put, keeper mishaps, aka shit happens.
People get things wrong, and you live for it, and you learn from it.
They do. One of the things that I found coming into the hobby was nobody spoke about stuff that went wrong. It was brushed under the carpet, and then you were scared to ask for advice because you're not seeing anyone else's stuff go wrong. And it's really daunting, and it's
It's
scary
not just
as
that.
hell.
When people do ask for advice, so they stick their head up above, a lot of the time they get shot down and attacked over it.
Yeah.
They will get made to feel like they're the worst keeper in the world. They should give up the hobby. And rather than dealing with it, they disappear into the ether. No one hears from them again. And no one knows whether things get sorted.
Yeah. So we've sent it out a couple of times this week, haven't we, for people to message us with their mishaps, and we've had a fair few come in. I've got a couple as well that I can discuss. I've had some issues with some tokays, and then I think I've got about 6. I think we counted up, and then I think you've got 2 or 3 as well that have been sent.
Yeah, I've got my own ones as well, because at the end of the day, if I'm going to put other people out there, I've got to put myself out there as well.
100%. I think yeah, I've got 2 stories for the tokays, and I've got one that I'm currently dealing with now, actually. So, you know, it happens, and you've just got to deal with it and make sure that the advice that you get is the right advice. But also
But if you're
remember
not happy with the advice, ask again.
yeah, the other thing as well is that I keep reminding myself and everyone else is that advice is just advice. So it's like, if in doubt, see a vet. 100% see a vet. Good evening, Max. Good evening, Liam. How are we all? Hope you're all well. And I've been 3D printing this week as well. So obviously, people know that I've started the 3D printing with a friend of mine. We've been printing some little tags, so I know when I need to collect a shed from a snake to genetically test. So a double helix. I've been busy.
And the other thing I will add is if anyone's got any suggestions for the 3D printing, shoot them across to Mac.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. And if anyone needs any advice on fixing a HGV, drop Andy a shout.
Don't ask me. Do not ask
Do
me.
not ask me. Busman's holiday. Busman's holiday.
I live with the phone always on. Even when I'm not working, I'm the one who's on call to give the advice. So it's nice to not do that for a change.
Dragon Ledges, yes, Liam, we know that is 100% something that we are looking into. So Dragon Ledges are, in fact, you know what? Next week we can ask Jordan for some ideas. So Dragon Ledges
Yeah.
are from I can't remember his name now. Chameleon Academy. I can't remember his name. And he come up with a system to attach things to the sides of the Reptile breed style enclosures. And he started 3D printing them. I don't know if he still 3D prints them or he buys them in prefabricated now, but really simple
It's
design.
probably going to be prefabricated if it's at that sort of level, I guess.
Yeah. Good evening. 9 o'clock on the dot. Did we get Cyclura? Did we get it? Have I got the right person? I'm sure I've got the right person.
I think you have, but we will find out in a second when we get corrected.
Yeah. Oops. I have got a picture of the Cyclura to share with us all. If you give me a sec, I'll find it. I did have it ready. Obviously not well enough. Not well enough.
Still teething problems. It's only week 2.
So I'm in and I can hear it. Get in, Nicola.
Hey, she managed to work out some technology.
Amazing. Where's the
Go
Cyclura?
to the kitchen or upstairs.
Where is it?
Yeah, there's approximately 9-second delay between me speaking and then her hearing me in the headset. So her
there
best
is.
bet would be to bugger off into another room.
No comment. No comment. I'm not brave enough to tell my own woman, let alone somebody else's woman, what to do.
At the end of a computer, you've got safety and distance.
No. She's only downstairs.
Yeah.
And I've got no idea if she's
Mine's
listening.
further away than you.
I've got no idea if she's listening in either. Hello, Andy Gaff.
Oh, God, my daughter's using my account as well. Oh, no.
What's your daughter's name?
Isabella.
Isabella, good evening. What's it like seeing your dad on YouTube? Is it embarrassing or is it good? What is it?
We'll probably get a one-word answer because she is incapable of full answers.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I can't find a picture of this Cyclura. It was this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on there. He did share it. I saw it.
There we go. Got it. So let's do this. Window capture. What's that? Look at that. Little beastie. Only a little baby.
Yeah. That just brings back bad memories in a way for me, but that's one of my stories to come out later.
Yeah. Oh,
I've got to be the only person in the UK to have lost one.
No comment. Unlucky. But yeah, look at that. Like, getting it at that age as well and working with it at that age is just incredible.
Where did you get it from? That's the only thing I haven't heard is where he got it from. Because I'd be interested to know who the breeder is.
Ryan, where did it come from, Ryan? I'm sure. Do you know what? I'm like Longfield Exotics. I'm sure it's the right person, but we could be. I don't know.
We could be barking up the wrong tree.
Could be.
We're still at early stages. We're still learning.
Yeah, well, still learning, and we're still picking up on people's names as well. And not only that, WhatsApp names are always going to be different to
Yeah.
YouTube names.
Yes.
But there won't be. Not everybody will line up the same.
No, that's always the fun bit. It's a bit like gaming handles as well. If you ever do that, no one's ever the same as what they say they are.
No, they're not. They're not. Right then, should we get into this? What we got? What we got for snacks tonight? We had because that was something
last week.
Yeah. So there was a few comments this week, wasn't there?
Yeah, I can convince Nicola to move. There is mozzarella with stuffed with sweet chili in the freezer to be cooked.
Very
I have
nice.
just had steak and ribs, so it might only be a few of them.
So Nicola, who's controlling the critters, then he says, "I heard my name. What's up?" See, we have got the right person. We just showed a picture of the Cyclura that you picked up, or we hope you picked up, because that's where you were going. Um, what? Who was the breeder? And we're saying how amazing it is to get a youngin, and then obviously work with it and grow that confidence with it. And then Andy was just asking who the breeder was. No, no, no. So yeah, Nicola was just saying that they lost a leopard gecko in the early days, just vanished. Never found. Even moved house and searched everywhere.
Yep, everything came out of that house. Didn't even we found nothing to go with it. We do think it was the eldest, though. She does sort of hold her hands up to going into the gecko and not being sure if she shut the door or not again.
Oh dear. Oh
But
dear.
what was that? That was 5-6 years ago now.
But
So she would have been
they
about
are
6 years old at
They
the
are
time.
they are hard lessons to learn from, aren't they?
But they're lessons you will never forget.
No,
Once you've learned
no.
those lessons, it's the old saying that fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Well, fool me twice. Yeah, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
That's right. That's right.
So you make the mistake more than once, you're obviously not learning from anything.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of really unfortunate stories where they were really hard lessons to learn.
They're quite controversial as well. I will go with that. So if you're a bit sensitive,
I don't think
I don't want to
I
upset anyone.
yeah, I don't think they're controversial. I think they're just very eye opening to what can happen if
And how
we're not
quickly it can happen.
paying full attention to what's going on around us. Um,
Yes.
so I've got a funny one that we can share about a boa called Colin. So Colin was in a viv at the foot of the bed, and one night his owner was at the pub and got a call from the wife. She was asleep and thought he'd come home and got into bed with her. No, Colin had
I
popped
can
the
see where
vent
this is going.
and climbed into
Yeah.
bed for a cuddle. He had to put his pint down and go home and sort Colin out. And
And then calm the wife.
yeah, vents seem to be quite a common occurrence.
I got caught out with one recently. We had a 9-foot retic pop a vent and get out. I'd come home from a night shift, so I hadn't noticed, gone to bed, got back up at midday, stumbled into the lounge and gone, where's the snake?
Yeah,
And then realised the cat wouldn't come in the house.
the cat wouldn't come
And
in.
no, the cat's obviously twigged that the snake that's big enough to eat said cat is out on the loose and has decided to do a rudder. So after about a quick 30 seconds of, oh no, what's going to happen next? Open the cupboard, and there he was, just chilling out at the bottom of the cupboard.
I was just about to touch on that, Liam. Yeah. So the vents are supposed to go into the inside of the viv and pushed to the back, not from the back pushed in. And yeah, you are right. People,
Yeah.
it,
Viv
it doesn't.
Exotic people do it a lot on.
You don't think about it at the time of installing the vents that actually, and they don't take a lot of pressure. They don't take
No,
a
they
lot of
really
pressure.
don't. But the other thing is, like with a lot of the vents I've got, some of the tanks don't come with anywhere to run the wires in. So you end up running the wires through the vents.
Do not open it whilst I'm on camera. But look what we've just found.
Oh, fresh hatchie.
Literally. So I noticed the other day that the eggs had moved.
Wasn't there yesterday?
No, I checked it today as well. So the eggs had moved. So she'd attached them to a branch, and I think with the wood swelling and contracting, it loosened the eggs off. We had to take them out. I don't like taking them out because I now don't know whether or not to put it back in with mum and dad.
No. No.
But yeah, there we go. So we've got a little tree shark, which means his brother or sister shouldn't be too long behind him.
Sort of 48 hours you'll be looking at now,
Yeah.
at the most. So if anyone wants a tree shark, now you know who to ask.
So that one is spoken for, actually. So I had someone message me the other day asking about them. So I will reach out if they're not watching. So we had Colin the boa and Storm the boa. both managing to pop
No,
vents. So
Storm's a retic. Storm's a
retic,
retic.
retic. So a retic and a boa popping vents, which, as Liam said, if they've not gone in the right way, or even if they're not putting flush and they can get up behind them, and they are lessons that you learn from.
Well, every
Fortunately,
stent now is glued, screwed,
yeah,
taped. But
yeah,
yeah, I run my wiring through the vents because a lot of the Vivs don't come with anywhere to run the wiring. Viv Exotic, yeah, they do. They have the little cutouts at the top, but they're not secure in the slightest.
yeah,
And people think you just push them in, you'll be fine. But if an animal gets behind it, whether it be a lizard, a snake, or whatever, that's falling out. Then all of a sudden there's a hole.
yeah. So I think was there another one? Yeah. So there's another one. I had a T-Mall monitor, pop event, and I panicked. The window was open. Thankfully, she was just hiding behind some Vivs, and I found her shortly after that. But man, that panic.
Oh yes, I could imagine. I,
Yeah.
so I'll go into what happened with my rhino. I was working with her, opened the Viv to feed her, sort of bring her down, sort of a bit of tap train and all that. What I hadn't thought to check before I started was if the back door was shut. 99.9% of the time, I'd always checked it first. This is the one time I didn't. She got overexcited with the food, leapt at me, went, oh crap, I'm out the Viv, bolted out the back door, round the side, under the gate, and gone.
Incredible. Incredible. And you never found that one, did you, Andy?
No, that's been, it'll be 2 years in April, and no sight or sound.
Unfortunate. What time?
It's going.
What time of year was it?
So it was April.
April.
So it was still relatively cool. It was wet. It was rainy. Whether she got under a vehicle or found a hidey hole or whatever, but where we are, there's a lot of wildlife, foxes, badgers, stuff like that. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what you are. If you're a small lizard,
100%.
you've had it.
Really
We've
unfortunate.
also got a lot of red kites and buzzards around here as well.
Yeah. Really unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
But you live
It's
and
not.
learn,
We
unfortunately.
do. That's not the only escapee story we've got either. So I do have another one here from someone in Scotland. He left his reptile room window open, and a king snake went for a stroll. Seems to be an extended stroll though. He's still not returned. The window
Oh.
does not get opened unless he's in the room now. You know, and I think
Good
it's
evening,
just.
Chris.
Good evening, Mr. Barber. How the devil are we? Hope you well? Hope you got home okay. Spoke to Chris earlier today. So Chris works for a demolition company, salvage and recovery, and he's currently working in the Midlands, but he lives way down south on the coast. So he had a bit of a trek home today, and obviously the
So you
drive
had the
home.
joys of the M5.
Yeah. So the drive home today wasn't best from speaking to him. I hope you
No.
got home well.
Snake food.
Snake food. Four hours and 40 minutes. That's good old trek. Good old trek. I lose him. He phones me like when he's an hour away from home, and if I'm lucky, I get like a good 30 minutes with him. It's before he hits the back roads. Not much would last in the weather up here. How far up here are we talking, Ian? How far are we talking? A34. There you go.
Don't start me on the A34. That runs literally past my front door.
Oh, you're in Cambridge
I
way, aren't you?
did cut, so I'm Oxford.
Oxford, sorry. I don't know why I got Cambridge.
Yeah.
No,
No, Cambridge is miles away. That's about
Yeah,
an hour and a half, 2 hours from here.
I know. North Scott. Oh, Michael. So no. So we weren't even talking about the right person. It's Ryan that went for the Cyclura.
Yeah,
So I
you
did
got the
have
wrong
the wrong
person.
person. Knew that. Yes. Michael, and I've just literally been talking to Michael. So Michael runs one of the Scottish WhatsApp groups for the
Cheeses air frying.
cheesy balls. I've heard enough about your balls today.
You love it.
Michael runs one of the Scottish WhatsApp groups, and I joined that today, and it seems nice so far, so good.
I need to get on a couple more WhatsApp groups. I'm only on the RSUK one at the moment. I just knowing where to look for them.
Yeah, there's a couple about. So there's the European keepers one, which is really interesting.
I
So
think
that
I'm on that one actually.
I yeah, it's really good that one. Then there's the Fantastic Frogs one, which is a nice group. And then I've obviously got a handful of Royals ones. But it's like it becomes a lot of the same people. Apparently, the box of 10 balls serves 10 people. Or it depends how big the balls are. It's a good laugh. Yeah, it's been nice in there today. But it's just the problem is, like, especially up there, you are really restricted to the amount of people. So once you see one or two Scottish groups, I imagine you've got hold of everyone, really, haven't you? So I mean, Chris is for the Royals mainly, and I know there's a couple of other
The other
keepers in
thing
there.
with Scotland, what people forget is it is relatively decent size, but where everyone lives is very close knit to each other. Until you
Well,
get to the top of Scotland, they're spread out like one house every 45 miles.
Michael might as well live in Narnia. He's that far up. I don't think there's
Oh,
much
God.
more Scotland above Michael. He lives way up in the Inverness type way. So if there's
Uh,
any Scottish folk watching, and Cat, yeah, we'll touch on that in a sec. Michael is driving from where he lives down to Blackpool, and he has spaces, so he's trying to tout out some spaces in his car. I think he's looking for company on the journey. So if you're in Scotland and you're in any of the Scottish WhatsApp groups, give Michael a shout and see if he can pinch a ride and enjoy a 6.5 hour drive talking about reptiles.
and I'm guessing that's for the IHS show in June.
It is, yeah. We'll, yeah,
Touch
that's
on that
that
in a
was
bit
one.
as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, that
Oh,
was one of the things that I got to touch on. That, that yeah, so well, we might as well do that now, haven't we? So the IHS have
yeah,
announced 2 dates for this year. So they have announced June the 13th? No, June the 5th or 6th.
7th, I thought.
The 7th?
I'm
All
going to
right.
go to my phone now. It's June. It's the beginning of June. Let's start
It's
with the beginning of June.
June the 7th, yes. So I'm booked into the Norbrack on the 5th and the 6th. We're going to have a walk around the show, and then we are going to have a
Party like
drive
it's
home.
1999.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's quite a few of the Scottish lot coming down as well on the Saturday, which will be nice. So we'll have a good catch up with them. There's a few, I think Liam's possibly looking at coming over from his way, which ain't too bad. He's about an hour away, if that.
I
And then
might try and make it up. I just haven't decided yet.
no, well, you'll need to juggle work around, don't you, with it being a Sunday?
Yes, that's the only problem. It's getting because I have to take the whole weekend and the Monday off
Yeah.
because I'm not getting back behind the wheel on a Sunday night.
Someone's down south. See, Michael, again, like, there's not much north above you, so down south is pretty much 90% of the country, mate.
He's talking about basically Edinburgh.
Yeah. No, I don't think it
That
is. If it's
stuff.
keeping Chinese water dragons, Australian water dragons outside, it's definitely not. It's got to be at least Watford Gap
It's,
and below.
I'd say probably near your Devon mark, to be fair.
Yeah. Cat, the European grips. Yes, Rob Hiley has it not just some spectacular species, but examples. We were actually discussing Rob's post on the RS UK general chat and advice the other week when he shared his photos of the difference good UV, no light below London, some good UV and some good diet and what it does for the colours of the animals. So I think it was these I can't remember what they were.
Remember
Um,
this? Yeah, I can't even. I
I
can
can't
picture
remember.
it.
Can't remember what species they were, but yeah, they were stunning. Both of them were beautiful animals, but they they the difference between those kept inside under artificial UV and fed shop feeder crickets to his nutrient dense animals, nutrient dense feeders, and kept outside. So Rob's got a couple of greenhouses, and he's got what's quartz glass panels in his greenhouses, so that the animals make full use of the natural light. And I'm talking like I know Rob. I don't know Rob. I've spoke to him very briefly about a European green lizard that we picked up from the caterpillar plant in Desford in Leicestershire. So I've spoke to him briefly, but Rob is one person that I want to reach out to and see if he'd be interested in coming on, because I've watched he did an interview with Exotics Keeper, and
Okay,
he's just like he works in the field. He is just a wealth of knowledge. So he is.
that's what everyone needs more access to.
Yeah, and as Kat said, the amount of species that people are keeping outside.
Well, if you look at Dougie Smith over in Ireland, he's got his iguana, green iguana, that has access outside all year round, and he's done videos and photos of it going out in the dead of the winter in frost.
Yeah, and it's absolutely incredible, like what people are keeping out. Then some of the enclosures are incredibly good looking. Like some of them you don't even have to step in. They've got seating areas around them. They've built concrete bases to get them off the floor to stop rodents getting in. They're absolutely incredible. It might have been his eyed lizards, cat. Yeah, the two green eyed lizards. But like the post, and he's not scared to share with you as well on how and what he keeps. Good evening, Scott. Hope you're well. But yeah, the two lizards, there was a noticeable difference, and you could see which ones were fed a good diet and kept outside.
It's amazing the differences that it can make, though. You don't realise how much we're still behind with everything we've got. So when you put all your extra lighting in your Viv, you think you're getting it as spot on as you can, and you are to a certain degree. But realistically, you're not a touch on what the natural world can offer.
No, Cat's got an animal off Rob. Great guy. Please get him on. I've got his number. And like I said, I've spoke to him very briefly regarding the pickup from the caterpillar plant here in Leicester. It was a stowaway from, we think, Eastern Europe, just because of the trade routes and the trade partnerships that Cat has got. So, and he gave me advice
Cheese
and stuff. Cheese balls, fantastic.
and the dogs followed.
So yeah, 100%. He's definitely someone I want to get on, because, like you, Cat, I never realised the amount of species that people are keeping outside and how they're keeping them. Another guy I'd like to get on is Lee from UK Crested Newt, and maybe even Dave Sharp. Maybe we could do a panel one night, you know. But I think I'd just sit there in awe and listen to the three of them talk away. But maybe it's not the best idea for the three of them at once. But definitely people like that who've been in the hobby for a long time and are established, and it's their field of expertise as well. You know, we're not just
It's the same as with Lee from Millennium Reptiles.
Yeah.
I mean, what that guy doesn't know about tree boas and tree pythons isn't probably worth knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say he's quite clued up on the Euryplatypuses as well.
I don't think there's not a lot Lee doesn't know about them, being honest.
No, and he does all the tours. He goes out to the other countries. He's done Madagascar. He's been to everywhere, so he's got hands-on experience.
And he has adult content. I mean, have you seen that watering system for his green tree pythons?
Yes.
Yes. And I was very careful about what I said there. I was very careful how I explained that then, because I didn't want to use the P word. But yes, that is adult content right there.
There is misting systems. Then there's what zoos have. And then there's what Lee has.
Yeah,
it just takes it to a whole new level.
Yeah, so Kat says she agrees, though. Some species you'd never believe you could keep more naturalistic. It's definitely an aim for the future, yeah. Dave Sharp, he spent this year trying to get a hold of some sand lizards, didn't he? And unfortunately, he couldn't get a hold of any capture bred UK stuff. So I think he's imported them a round table. Or I think I'd be a little bit starstruck if I had those sort of three people on, and I would feel way out of my depth.
The thing is, we've got to do it at some point.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
like,
point behind this.
I would genuinely feel out of my depth if I had keepers of that caliber on. Like, it's going to be hard enough next week having Jordan on. He knows his stuff,
He does.
But there's two of us and one of him. So
We've got half a chance.
We'll put off. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that we have some viewers and there's plenty of questions to go on.
I think we'll get a few more viewers for that than we did the week before, and probably this week. But I'm also looking forward to the likes of. I know Thomas Griffiths has agreed that he'll come on at some point.
The lighting god. I'm going to start calling him Thor. God of lightning.
Don't give him a complex. Don't give him a complex.
I don't think he needs one. You know what? I'll give Thomas his dues. As much as he might be awkward at times, he is. He's very humble.
He is. He's a real sound guy. He really is.
And again,
he will bend over backwards for you.
Again, I'm talking like I know him. I don't know him. I only speak to him through the RSUK chats. But
See, I do know him to a certain degree. He picked up some animals from Manchester Pets for me, and I went up and grabbed them from him. I've been up to his place a couple of times. He's been down to me. We talk quite a bit.
Yeah. So we will cheat the.
I give him crap because I know him.
Yeah. His kids run riot in the house. All kids run riot. Your kids run riot in his house.
Yeah.
Well, that's just good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, the kids should be seen but not heard.
Yeah.
But you're never going to actually get that to happen.
No. So, yeah, so next week we've got Jordan. That will be really good. So the idea behind that is think of the wicked conversations. Like, an hour wouldn't be long enough, would it, Kat? That's the thing. It just wouldn't.
The thing is, we could go to an hour and a half if we have to, and we can always have him back.
That would be like...
He'll come back.
Yeah, I just can't imagine the...
This is the thing. It's building these relationships with these people, giving them a way to talk to everyone, giving us a way to put everything out there, but also opening up the door to people going, well, you know what? We didn't ask this last time. Any chance you can have them back, and we can ask these this time.
Yeah, Liam says shoot for 3 hours.
Go for midnight.
Well, there's been, obviously I use Discord a lot. Been on some podcasts the last 4 1. 100%. Like
we'll go as long as the conversation's flowing. As long as people are happy to watch and listen, we'll keep going.
I'm on quite a few Discord servers with the Royal folks. CT1, Tom.
Yeah, that's the one.
And we do a lot of like impromptu calls, live sessions, whatever, and they do go on some while. 6 hours on 100%, Liam. 100%. There have been some long sessions on there.
I'll be completely honest. This is the second time I've ever used any sort of Discord system.
Yeah, I really like the Discord platform because you can organise things. It's just obviously it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I get why WhatsApps are used, etc. It works.
Convenient.
It is. Everyone's got WhatsApp. That's why.
And it's all part of that meta system now, isn't it? It all ties into your Instagram and your Facebook.
It certainly does. It certainly does. Should we have another story?
Quick before we go on with this story quickly. How much better is the microphone this week, guys?
Nope. Extended episode. I'll definitely tune in. Well, I think you should tune in every week, Kat. Not just
no excuse.
It's not, is it? The microphone is 100% better. Much better. Scott Fraser. All three of us. Scott Fraser, all three of us. What? Oh, keep the conversation going, you mean?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Either that or that is one of the gents that I've mentioned. I don't think it is. Yeah, the microphone is much better. Yeah, so let's jump into another story.
Right, do you want to go with one of yours, or should I go with one that I've got?
I've got 3 left, so why don't you go
I've,
with one of yours?
right, hang on, let me just pull it up because I was prepared and I saved it, but I'm not prepared to have it open. Right, this comes from a fella on the Facebook. A few years ago, he owned a few chipmunks and would let them out of their enclosure to exercise and play in a large double bedroom with ropes and trellis to climb on. He was working evenings, so had to put them to bed before he left. 2 of them went in without trying, but one of them had other plans. He climbed the curtains and jumped to the bed. He dived under the bed and ran out as soon as he got low. He was getting tired and running out of time. He cleared most of the obstacles out of the room, apart from the bed, enclosure, and a chest of drawers. He chose to hide under the drawers, so he had a lot of floor space. He decided to move the chest of drawers to open space. As he lifted the drawers, he couldn't see the chipmunk. Turned around a few times while holding the chest, unable to find him. Decided to put it back down and go to work. When he got home, he was still missing, so he lifted the drawers again and found him unalived under the corner of the unit. He says he felt so guilty, and he was obviously panicked by him trying to get him to bed early, but he'll never put a heavy object down again without checking properly.
Did he also say that he wouldn't have the animals out sort of before work as well?
He did come up with he said that it's horrible losing a pet, but it's so much harder when you believe it was your fault. It was tragic, but he learned a lot from it. He won't keep pets that require a lot of space unless he has an extra room for them to set up correctly with a second door and no chest of drawers.
It's really unfortunate,
And it's a mistake any of us can make.
more so than that.
That loses a hamster.
Yeah, but it's also something you can't envision something like that happening.
No.
You know, because like he's got the loose animals, so he's not just letting things fall and banging and scaring them. You know, he's taking his time. So that animal is obviously. I don't want to make it worse than what it probably was for him, but you know that was. I'm trying. I nearly forgot tonight, but I'm here and have pet notification now, so I won't miss any lives now. No worries. I'm only teasing. Yeah, so that's been put down nice and gently because the animals are loose, and that animal's been frozen in place and
Yeah.
stuck there.
And the thing is, as horrible as it sounds, hopefully it was instantaneous, but you never know. They might not have been, and it might have taken a little while.
Yeah.
And you live with that, and you question that, and anyone who's got any sense about them will live with it for the rest of their days, wondering what if.
Yeah, it's definitely something that he's never going to do again. You know, and that's
Sorry, Michael. What? Work with someone who accidentally trapped their cat inside a folding bed mechanism.
I would imagine it means like a sofa.
It's got to be a sofa bed. It's got to be a sofa bed.
No, cut out a lot better.
He's all about the mic.
Okay.
And then, Nicholas said we found when we lived about 9 years ago, a place quite away from where we are now. We came down one morning and found a hamster dead in our daughter's play tent. We didn't own a hamster. Turned out the neighbours had left their hamster cage open. Hamster had got out, gone for a wander, got through the plasterboard walls, and found its piece in our lounge.
Madness. So I've got a couple more.
An ottoman bed, like Michael, an ottoman bed sort of thing, rather than a sofa bed.
You can lift the mattress. Okay. Oh, so it was trapped under there. Like, did he find it?
Was it sandwiched between the bed and the frame, or inside the? I've got so many questions to go with this now.
Oh, dear. So
I think that I will touch on cats are technically exotic animals as well. They're not a
Yeah.
native species, and the amount of like dogs, cats, everything, nothing is 100% native anymore.
Wow. So I've got a story here that is funny as well. So here's one. I had an absolute horrid Macklot's python, only by nature, as he was really pretty. He was absolutely massive, about 2 or 3 year old. So he'd done a good job of bursting you open and if he caught you. Um, he was a complete knob until he was in hand, and then he calmed down. But going into the viv or picking him up from anywhere, he thought he was Jackie Chan and chucked himself all over the place trying to get you. He was in the boot of the car in a rub as I was moving. Well, when I grabbed a bag from on top of the rub, I must have pulled off the clips, or I never clipped it in the first place. Who knows? Well, he was missing for about a week until I came out of the gym, parked my arse in the driver's seat. I was busy messing about on my phone, and my mate shouts, "Lisa, Lisa, Lisa, there's a snake!" There was a few more swear words in that. Well, yeah, he'd come out to bask on the dashboard in the heat, and when Lisa looked up, there's this Matlock's python there in her face height, looking at me, ready to start his crap. It was like something out of brace, brace, brace thing from an airplane going down.
Oh God!
She tried to get out of the car. Anyway, grabbed him. No rubs in the car. We stood in this public car park. We've stood in this public car park with this snake looking like an absolute nutter. Couldn't take any more weird looks, so in the gym bag he went. I now tape shut every box, or put a box in a box, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's one you go only do once. But you do see a lot of people post about similar things on the old Facebook.
Yeah,
There's a few on some of the mechanics groups I'm in, especially in America. There's a lot of videos pop up of them taking dashboards apart to get snakes out.
yeah. So there's a guy in Liverpool that I know, and he picked a snake up from the Midlands, drove home, got home, and no snake was in one of the tubs. So he took the car apart, what he could, and couldn't find it. So anyway, like the week later, it went in for a service. And, his phone rings, and it's the garage. Could you do me a favour? Could you come and tell us why there's a snake in your car? And he went down, and honest to God, there's this little baby python. Managed to get into behind the dashboard somewhere and just chilled out. Madness.
There's the thing, they can get into all sorts of spaces. So even if you think they should be obvious, they're not.
Yeah. So Mad Max 1881. Cats are considered invasive species in many countries. Did you see? I can't remember where it is, so you have to sort of take this with a pinch of salt. There's, I want to say it was in Mexico, but it was definitely South America, and they were breeding these really rare crocodiles, or alligators. I can't remember exactly the species it was. And the keepers, and they were in open enclosures. You know, like you go see the zoo and they've got the meerkats,
Yeah.
that kind of enclosure. You know, it's fully kitted out, all properly. And the keepers come in the next morning, and there was baby crocodiles everywhere, destroyed. Like they just, whatever it was, had completely obliterated a full clutch of baby crocodiles. Well, it was a genuine, like, rare species from what I can remember. And it turns out that it was a domesticated cat that had gone in and just for sport, just destroyed all these rare baby alligators or crocodiles. It might have been on, what's his name? Is it Forrest Galante?
It could be. That sounds like the sort of thing that he would post about. I do quite like his stuff. He does a lot of the extinct species stuff as well, doesn't he?
I think it was that, and it was. I think it was like stories you would never believe, and it was like they showed him the footage of like all the photos of these crocodiles that had been unfortunately ravished, and he was asked, "What do you think done this?" And he asked where it was, etc., etc., and he actually said a domesticated cat, and he was right because they are horrible apparently. So yeah, you know.
The thing is, a lot of cats around especially when you go out abroad. It's like when we all go on holiday, you see the stray cats in your Spains, your Greases, and all that. But you don't get it as much over here that I see, but I'm sure it does go on just as much. But those animals just keep breeding and breeding and breeding and killing everything around to keep themselves going.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? It's madness.
But how can anyone hurt a cat? Cats are so cute.
Well, I'm not a cat person. I'm a Hamish person. We have a cat, and he's called Hamish, and it's the only cat I actually like.
We've got a cat. He's not here at the moment, thankfully, because he'd be bullying the dog anyway. Poor dog. And yeah, I don't mind cats. I don't mind dogs, but I prefer your reptiles, your exotics. You can shut the viv, you can shut the cage, you can walk away. That's you done with them for the day. Dogs, cats, they require 24-hour attention.
We used to raise sled dogs, and we've got one left now. An old girl, 14. She sleeps. She's an outdoor dog. Always has been. She's been a working dog, and she's currently sat in my reptile room with me, which is temperature. Let's do English money. 22 degrees, and she's curled up on the floor next to the radiator. And she's an outdoor dog.
Yeah.
But she's just getting old.
Circulation.
Yeah, Angela, I've rehomed a few geckos that's been missing for months and returned to owner, having new pets or unsure how to get them back to health. 4 years later, both are doing so well. And that's what's, that sums up tonight's live and discussion, that anything, for most things that go wrong, I don't want to say anything, we've had a few unfortunate stuff, and I've got another two stories here, which are unfortunate endings. But for the most part, there are things that you can put in place, there are steps that you can take and precautions that you can make to ensure it doesn't happen again, whether that's ensuring windows are closed, the screen mesh on them, doors are closed. There are a lot of silly things that you don't think about at the time, So from the same person, from Lisa with a Matlock's Python, this is another one, but it's truly devastating.
This one's quite brutal.
She had her first clutch of chondros. She was well chuffed. First reptile she'd ever bred, or tried to breed, to be honest. Just got them feeding consistently, albeit with a bit of faffing, but kind of run out of room. So the hatchling rack was against a wall opposite a window. And she goes away with work, comes back a few days later, goes into the reptile room, and she smelled death. That unmistakable stench. That it's the best case scenario. It's a regurgitated rodent. Worst case scenario, it's an unalived reptile. Well, the wife had opened the blinds while she was away inside the tubs with the sun beating. It got up to mid-40s, looking at the min-max and the thermometer. Lisa says it's what led her to become the ex-wife. And I think there's, we don't just have to think about what we're doing whilst we've got these reptiles in our care. It's if we're not there, we've got to remind other people of things that can go awry and what to do and what not to do. And it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. But again, I don't want to say that I want to normalise all these stories, because they are far from normal.
I agree completely. But these stories, as much as they're as far from normal, they happened. People have their own versions of what happened, and people are scared to say it out loud.
Yeah, and it was again, we're taking the lead from what discussions happen in the RSUK group. And one of the discussions was shit happens and nobody talks about it. And people, they don't want to have to be scared to ask for advice if something goes wrong. They don't want to feel like they're a failure. People need advice, and that's what this is about. We're not trying to normalise the unfortunate events at all. We are trying to say it happens, but you know what? It happens to everyone. And it's just, we just really need to be
open about it.
Inconsiderate when someone does ask for guidance or support or anything.
No, the worry. I think the worry is, especially with the exotic animal, mainly the reptile side of it, of the hobby, is when things go wrong, it comes back to bite the hobby. So
Yeah,
someone makes a mistake, albeit a medium mistake. We'll go medium mistake for this one. The small mistakes, no one even ever really says anything about. A medium mistake will come back and bite the hobby. So when a big mistake's made, it goes international. Everyone knows about it. Everyone hears about it. Everyone's like, "Oh, we can't let our hobby be taken down because of this." But the reason it's got to that is because none of the medium stuff's spoken about. So it's all of a sudden exciting and taboo. And oh, look, this has happened. When reality is there's stuff going on all the time, but because it's sort of brushed under the carpet, people are belittled for it. It never makes the daylight. I mean, how many dog attacks happen? We only ever hear about the big ones. The
I
reason
was
why the
just about
XL
to say
bullies
that.
got banned in the UK, but daily dogs attack people, cats attack people. More people die on horses than most other animals. Cows are pretty lethal. You're more likely to get killed by a cow than you are a shark.
Yeah. Well, it was. Is it Reptar that when they released their large constrictor and large monitor um, policies for member stores? I'm sure they put in their paperwork that there have been no deaths due to large constrictors or large monitors or even venomous
There's
registered,
only, I think, there's only two venomous uh, deaths in the history of the UK.
not
One was a
registered
king.
venomous.
There was one of the. There was one I know for a definite was a keeper of king cobras who was setting up a king cobra zoo, and he had some new ones in, and he was working with them, and he got bit, and he died before anyone knew it had happened. That's a definite one that happened in the UK. And I think there may be one other, but I can't remember what it was.
Like, obviously, I'm happy to be corrected on this, but I'm sure the paperwork I've seen, it was there's been no deaths due to registered animals of, and there's definitely been no. Mad Max says that was in Florida.
What was in Florida? I only see that bit.
I imagine it was the king
The Cobra
cobras.
thing was definitely UK.
Liam says large constrictors have been here since the early 90s. One very suspect death. Yeah, there's. I'm sure, like Liam, you've obviously see the same paperwork I do. I'm sure there's been no recorded deaths
Yeah,
due to large
right.
constrictors.
There's been a death from a king cobra bite in the UK in 2011. Luke Yeomans, a snake conservationist in Nottinghamshire, died after being bitten by one of his pet king cobras. He suffered a heart attack caused by the venom, was pronounced dead at the scene.
What year?
2011.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's what that's one for a definite in the last 20 years.
yeah. Um, so I've got another two stories. Sorry, actually. One was a keeper had taken in a collection of geckos. And he didn't realise that there was the cohabiting was male and female. He thought it was two females until he seen that the male produced male appendages and he wouldn't leave the female alone. And unfortunately, he was that adamant on getting to the female. He caused himself a prolapse. And
Oh,
unfortunately, and it's very it doesn't seem to be that this breeder's this keeper's fault. But it's even those that are doing the right things or trying to do the right thing find themselves short on the short end of the stick.
anything can happen. I mean, I've got one story here from one of the lads off RS UK. Again, if I was prepared, I would have had it ready to rock and roll, but I'm not prepared. Right. Oh, So, accident story for you. It does have a good ending, this one. A few years ago, I had a 733 for a Bosch monitor, about 1.5 to 2 feet of substrate for digging, and he made a whole tunnel system. Came to feed day, he didn't come out to eat, so I took the bugs out and tried again a few days later. No luck, so I decided to try chicken and leave it in the entrance room. Nothing. I turned all the soil, etc., around, and he was gone. 2.5 foot Bosque disappeared. I looked everywhere: floorboards up, fridge, freezer, under kitchen units. Left the Viv open with chicken every night and didn't take it. I thought he was gone forever. A few weeks later, still no luck, so I kitted it out for a beardie and called it the Beardy Mansion. That was until 6 weeks later, as I'm walking to the toilet, this 2.5 foot Bosque is sat on my bed in absolute perfect health. That's not exactly a small lizard to misplace either, but it shows how good they are at hiding.
Yeah. So our cat can get under our bath. I don't know how he does it.
My cat's currently trying to attack the comments on the TV.
And we always know when he's been in a bit of a scrap. That's where he goes. And that's his leave me the hell alone space. That's his I need to recover space.
Scott, yeah, saying that the attacks aren't the animal's fault. No, it's always the keeper's fault, the owner's fault, because you put yourself in that position. And this is what a lot of people forget, is that a wild animal is a wild animal. Whether it's domesticated or not, you're still at risk of getting hurt.
Yeah. Chris, was that a recorded cobra, or is there any more information on that? And again, happy to be corrected. Maybe it was just the large constrictors that I'd read about, but I was sure it was venomous as well. I'm not sure. One of the other stories.
Venomous. Last year they had one of the first ever recorded fatality from a Gila monster, didn't they? In the States, I believe it was.
Did it?
They can't prove it was the bite that did it directly, but it was a result of.
Yeah. A Timor monitor popped some vents and lived free roaming our reptile room for a few weeks. I was sure it got out the window until one day I walked in the room. Then I don't use Timor monitor. Man. Like.
Yeah, I'd do it. That would scare you.
Yeah. I've got a story for you. Around 13 to 14 years ago, I picked up an adult rescue boa in a 70-litre rub. When I got home, I put the rub on top of our monitor enclosure, and when I went back later in the evening, around 5 or 6 hours later, it had unfortunately passed. Quickly realised it had been cut. Top of the Viv temp gunned at 140 where the bulbs were directly underneath. I was mortified. And again, it's just, you've done something productive in rescuing an animal.
And you put it somewhere you think safe.
You put it up out the way to keep it safe. And it's the lessons that are learned, unfortunately, come with a cost. And it's unfortunate, it really is unfortunate. But the one thing, I want to point out tonight that we've had lots of stories. Some are funny, some are really not funny, and some have resolved themselves. But the one thing that's happened is everyone has learned from it. And I think that's what we need to focus on, that we have stuff happen to us within. And it's not, it's not just the reptiles, it's everything we do in life. Shit happens and we have to deal with it, and we have to put things in place to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's just obviously when it's animals in our care, we sort of fall prone to being attacked, and not just by anyone outside, but within the hobby as well. And you're made to feel like you're less of a keeper, and it's really not the case.
The reality is you're more of a keeper, holding your hands up and going, look, I messed up. This happened. Learn from my mistakes. Going back to what Kat's saying on the messages, we had some Appendicolas about to be sent with a courier. Unfortunately, the seller messages saying his stat had failed on one of the rats and cooked 2 of the 3 babies. Now, the thing is, what people forget is stats aren't foolproof either. I mean, Ian at Y Forest had what he put up on his
The
Facebook,
Inkbird, yeah,
the inkbird that completely melted.
yeah.
Um, I had a stat fail on a corn snake viv. Thankfully, the corn snake was absolutely fine, but Nicola touched the glass and burnt her hand. It got to about 75 degrees at the hot
So
end in there.
I've currently had a snake at the vets this last week for that very reason. So my racks, you can see some of them here, they're on wheels. And I was doing my weekly clean where I pull the racks out, sweep under it in case crickets get out or anything. And when I pushed it back in, I've hit the knob of the stat. And then when I've come to do my spot checks and waters the day after, I've pulled one of the snakes out, and unfortunately, she's one that's prone to sleeping on the actual tub and not the bedding. And she'd burnt her stuff, she'd burnt her belly, so she got belly burn. So we're currently treating for that at the moment. She's got burn cream on her. We've got iodine to help dry it out as well. So we're doing all of this stuff, and it's people don't like talking about it because they're worried about what people are gonna think, and we all do it.
Going back to what Liam said, because I quickly saw the message, but it's gone. You say that the habitat and microclimates are meant to fail too often. Yes, they are, but in my experience, they don't always. As much as they're meant to fail too often, they can fail too on, and that's what happened with my corn snake. It was using a regular analog stat from microclimate. Now I don't know how old it was, and I was quite new to the game at this point, but that failed to on.
Yeah.
CB Outcasts. I love the Evo Pros as they get notifications from my phone for over and under temps as they fail, lose power. As long as the Pro is secure, I think it's pretty a safe stat. They are pretty good stats, but they are still riddled with some problems.
Yes.
I've got one that I need to send back because I had a bulb blow and it took out the dimming function on it.
I'm all for the Wi-Fi enabled stuff. So I do have the Inkbird stats. So I've got 3 Inkbird stats running, and I've got 3 of the old analog Habistat ones. And I still prefer the Inkbird ones. I've got an Inkbird sensor in the incubator with the chameleon eggs, and I've got an Inkbird sensor in the snake incubator as well. And 100%, like they're not fail proof. Like all my plugs, all smart plugs are on Wi-Fi plugs.
Nothing's fail proof.
They're not like, but the difference is if the internet goes off, the worst thing that's going to happen is the lights don't come on, or they don't switch off. But it's not going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, cause too many problems.
I'm just going to chuck onto Nicola's comment about the Royal pulling down the probe and setting the part to the Viv. I'm going to correct that because it wasn't the probe he pulled down for a start. It was the entire lamp enclosure. And secondly, the second bit was it didn't set it on fire. There was no visible flames, but it caused the rub and the substrate to smoke. And he stayed right where that was going on. But I used the White Python domes for that one. It's got the shallow CHE in there.
Yeah.
Just something I've always used with him. I might move. I'm thinking of moving him to the RS Golds at some point when I do the next change up in there because I use them on my retics anyway. But where he managed to get on it, it had been screwed up in place, and the way that they got the cutouts, you put them up, twist them round, and then you fire the screws in further. He managed to untwist it off the screws and drop it down onto the substrate. And again, that had been absolutely golden for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, bang.
Chris says the worst thing he's had happen was the lad when he was 10 put the missus' water dragon away, which we didn't think anything of. It was a regular occurrence. This time he unfortunately put it in with the black and white Tegu Viv. Tegu had a quick snack. Like
what do you say to that?
We're talking to people from all over the country, up and down the country. Experienced people, people that
Yeah.
have just got into it. There's a full collection of different keepers and breeders here tonight, and we've all got a story to tell. You know, it's not something we obviously want to publish and broadcast aloud, but we also need to make sure that people know you're not alone, and this does happen. And I really hope that tonight we can, people are going to understand that yes, it is daunting and it is horrible that it happens to you, but we learn from it and it makes us better keepers.
I'm going to touch on something that's not reptile or exotic related briefly for a mishap. I grew up around equestrian. When I was about 16, 17, my mum and my brother had a horse that they kept a place that wasn't to go in a field with a particular other horse that had a prone nature of kicking and was turned out together. And this horse did in turn kick ours and shattered her rear leg, and the animal had to be put down due to someone thinking they knew better and taking a risk that shouldn't have been taken in the first place. So it's not just this hobby, it's every hobby mistakes make. I mean, in the equestrian world, again, there was a horse there that was kept to all the yards we had ours, and he had such a strong kick on him, he took down a concrete wall. So it just, no one ever wants to talk about when it goes wrong, and it's fine. Don't. If you're not happy about being open about it, that's fine. But you need to be aware of it, because if you're not aware of it, you're never going to learn from it.
Angela says it would be good to hear some advice from new keepers on reptile first aid and how to build a kit. Something, it, something in the wait for when you're waiting to see a reptile in the coming days.
Now, I know that Chameleons UK on Facebook do suggest a load of stuff, but that's something we can touch on with Jordan next week on what would be a good first aid kit. And again, it's a question we can put to everyone whenever we speak to anyone. What do they recommend?
What's
You've
in
got
your reptile
Tramadol,
first aid kit?
yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Going off what Mad Max says, I discovered I could have a snake and gecko. I was not seeing gecko for 3 months, so I put snake in there. About 6 months later, I see gecko, so I started putting up traps, but no success. I had a gecko that managed to cohabit self. It was a morning gecko, so we all know what they're like for getting wherever they want to go. And I found it living in with a red-knee tarantula.
Amazing. Started to
And
think
put
maybe
it
the
out.
snake got him, so decided not to try again before he pops up again. I managed to get him, and he got his own snake-free terrarium.
You've got to love animals because they are sent to test us.
They certainly are. Chris, I sent an Evo 3 back, fuse popped, replaced it, turned it back on, and the temp went to 130. Had them log on to the Evo stat and was told return, and they sent another one out, so they definitely can fail.
Yeah,
100%.
Microclimate are 100% with you when things are wrong. I mean, they give you a 5-year warranty for crying out loud. If they didn't know that there was going to be a problem for people at times, they wash their hands of it. They take responsibility for their product, and that's what more people need to do in that field as well.
Yeah. Right, folks, that's us. The customer service is exceptional. Is that the microcrime that you were just talking about? Ryan.
It's our Ryan. Did you get it?
Ryan,
And where did you get it from?
we were talking to you earlier, Ryan. I can't believe you didn't answer us back while I was talking to you. I actually got you mixed up with Michael for some reason, so I apologise for that. Did you get the Cyclura? We've already seen pictures of it, so we're hoping that you've got it. That's the first question. The second question is, who was the breeder? Because Andy was asking. In the meantime, customer service exceptional, Ryan. Called Lisa, I did say they can't fail, or I didn't say they can't fail having issues. More you get a notification of 100%, and that's why I'm a massive advocate for the Wi-Fi stuff. It's
Mark Cobb, even Haberstadt have gone that way now as well, haven't they?
I don't know. I don't know the new digital ones. I'm not sure. I don't think that they are one.
Ryan, you got it from James Helbit then, so down in Gosport.
Nice. Couldn't fault it, and replaced was sent out straight away. Perfect. Can't complain there. Yeah, I've had them repair 3 4-year-old stats, £10 postage. You can't complain with that, can you? There's a cookware brand, Le Creuset, and they offer a lifetime guarantee on their cast ironware. It's incredible. You know, those sort of companies you don't mind spending that money with if that's what
No.
they're going to do. 100%. Yes, home just warming up slowly. The breeders, my good friend James from down Portsmouth Way. I haven't touched wood. I haven't touched wood. Had any issues yet? Ryan, yes, mate, that's correct. Known James for years now.
Now,
Fantastic.
James is someone I'd actually quite like to get on at some point, because what that man doesn't know about the bigger species of monitors and iguanas probably isn't worth knowing. And also, he's a really good breeder of Uromastics, and he has grindled lizards,
Nice, nice.
and he's got them successfully breeding.
Chris has got a Euro breeder lined up for us as well, haven't you, Chris? Andy, I think his name is. Chris Dunn. I mean, it's 10 past 10, Chris. We're about to cut off, and you've decided to show your face.
Well, at least he
Even
turned up.
yeah, even after he's had me printing disgusting colours.
You love green.
Look, I saw his collection today again, and it was very impressive. Covered outcast only when there's a Wi-Fi. If that fails or is delayed, notification and can cause problems. Nothing's nothing is fail-proof, is it? And that's the issue. Do you know what? Chris Dunn didn't make last week's because Scotland was playing. He's got no excuse this week, and it'll be something like I was driving. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Right, folks, we're coming up for 10:15. It's an hour and
That's an
15
hour and a
minutes.
quarter.
Yeah.
That's plenty of time for you guys to put up with us.
It is. I have enjoyed this evening a lot. I've enjoyed last evenings. I made last week's, missed Tuesday. Oh, was it Tuesday's? Fair place.
The one that didn't matter then, you missed the one that didn't matter and came to the important one.
Yeah, should have said Mac on orange food hamper for Christmas. Oh, we should have said Mac and orange food hamper for Christmas, 100%. Anything with orange, I'm game. Next week, then, we've got Mr. Jordan Leadbiter, which would be really nice, who is working with some really
pretty exceptional chameleon species.
Yeah, lesser kept species as well. What's it? Cheetos, spicy Cheetos. Yes, so Jordan is working with some exceptional chameleon species. I think he is one of, I want to say, 5 keepers in the UK. I think it's 5. It could be less. 5 keepers of Parsons who are trying to start the UK captive breeding program with Parsons. Oh no,
They have a hell of a gestational period on those as well.
I know Chester Zoo has. I'm sure it's Chester Zoo have bred the Parsons, so it's now. I'm sure it was. I think Lee brought in 5 pairs. I could be completely wrong. We can quiz him on this next week. And he's working with a lot of smaller chameleons as well. I think we're talking from small carpets all the way up to the Parsons, and he's just hatched some outstanding Jackson's chameleons, I think. Iron Brew counts as food, right?
So.
It most certainly does, Lisa.
Iron Brood is a food group in Scotland. Yes, it's its own food group in Scotland. Though.
It's a staple. Yeah. So that next week will be a really interesting talk. I really am looking forward to it, and the missus is looking forward to it as well.
Actually, just touch on Iron Brew quickly before we go. When Kerry Morinello was over and we saw him, I actually gave him Iron Brew to try whilst he was over here.
Oh, fantastic. Howard, what did you think?
He wasn't sure, but it wasn't as bad as he thought.
So I had a friend come down in Scotland to pick some snakes up, and he says, "Mac, I'll bring you a care package. What do you want?" So I give him a little list. So he come down, we had a coffee, we had a look through the collection, packed him up with a load of animals for other people as well as him, and he messages me on the way home. Oh, these tatty scones are amazing. He was eating my food on the way home that he forgot to give me.
Brilliant. Well, you've got square sausage up in Scotland as well, haven't you?
Lawn sausage, that's correct. That is correct. Pickled onion monster one. 100%. 1901. Of course I've had 1901. It is the only, like, you know what? We did manage to get that down here, and I picked up 5 bottles. So I'm one of 5. So I give everyone a bottle of 1901. And we all tried to hold out to see who could have it the longest. And I actually think my brothers, I don't know if he's still got the bottle, but yeah. Yes, Andy, I believe James has turned to Andy a few times for advice. Yeah, so Andy is who Chris has got lined up for us as well. And Buttery's best breakfast, orange bitey spider. I'm not having an OBT. No. Black pudding Scotland makes best. No, haggis all the way on the Euros. Yeah.
Yeah, we figured it'd be the Euros there, Chris. Don't worry.
Yeah, so we'll get Andy on as well. So let's have a look at the dates. So next week we've got Jordan.
Yep.
Then the 5th.
We've not got anything lined up for that.
We
yet,
haven't got anything lined up the 5th, so we could ask.
So if anyone's got any suggestions of things they'd like to see as well, the 13th is it? No, it's the 12th. The one after.
12th.
You're in Ham, so we're going to have a pre-recorded, unfortunately, guys.
I'm ditching you for the heights of Germany. Well, we're off to Belgium on the Friday, and then we're off to Ham on the Saturday. So it'll be a good one. I prefer the Norwegian black pudding, Bury black pudding. Bury black pudding has been going years, hasn't it? That's proper old school now. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. I need a cup of tea. So the 5th, we need something for the 5th. So if anyone's got any ideas, drop it down in one of the WhatsApp groups where me or Andy are, or
message one of the pages.
One of the pages, yeah. MAD
or we're on
Leptoderma
Facebook,
species need more
WhatsApp.
keepers. Yeah, 100%. Do a ham video. We'll
probably get some footage whilst you're in Ham, and then we can incorporate it for the week after.
I will see what I can get away with. I'm not sure how they are on videos being taken, and I don't want to be booted out on my first venture into a German show. But yes, I will grab some footage for. Don't forget to give the show a like, guys. Cheers, Ozzy. Appreciate that. We will definitely give. Get some footage and I'll share it. And obviously, can get kicked out of Ham.
Okay, there'll be no filming.
Well, I'll get what I can. The spy cam, 100%.
Maybe some photos. Stuff. You might get photos rather than video footage.
Yeah. We'll do that. So yeah, the 5th, we definitely need an idea for the 5th, whether it's a topic of conversation or a guest we can get on. I don't think we'll be able, well, it's 2 weeks away, so we can try reaching out to a few people. If not, we will definitely pick a topic. We'll see. Don't forget the IHS have just announced their dates for the 7th of June, was it? 6th, 5th?
Yep, 7th, and then something in August. 9th of August or something like that?
Yeah, so Sunday the 7th of June, 100%. Plans for 2026 maybe, or maybe closer to New Year's. Yeah. Oh, when is New Year this year? Like, what day does that fall on?
Well, Boxing Day is a Friday.
It's a Wednesday, so that's fine. So we will do a New Year's podcast on the 26th if Andy's around.
I'll be around. I'll make sure I'm about for that.
So we can do a New Year's podcast on the 26th. Ready for 26?
Yeah, the 26th for 2026.
We'll do that. Yeah. And on that note, I'm just gonna scream. I don't know. I haven't got a catchy catchphrase yet to end it
That's
on.
next week.
What a catchy catchphrase?
Yeah, you've got a week to cover that now.
Yeah, I don't know. How should we end shows? I don't know. Like everyone's on a
Bye.
phone. Yeah. See you later.